Oh, hello people, and welcome back to part 92 of Orchid Bay, our Vanilla City Skylines build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And thank you for enjoying the town of Shalmani last episode. It was a lot of fun building in the valley. And in today's episode, what I want to do is actually just kind of take a step back to really spend time with a DLC that we haven't really touched on, that will come in use when we develop some areas of the downtown here. So we mentioned developing this little section of Brooklyn and Queens here, this little kind of square, if you like. And I think in the future we'll also redevelop the fish farms over here. I remember we said as part of the lore of this build that the farmer who resides here refused to sell his land as it was being sold to the conglomerates of Orchid Bay. But maybe in a few weeks he is finally going to sell his land and we can redevelop an old kind of crappy industrial fish farm into a big hotel complex. Might be a lot of fun. But currently in Orchid Bay, we are lacking in those hotels because we just haven't really played with them that much. So let's have a look at our hotels first of all. So here we are, the Excelsior hotel chain. We need to change this colour though, don't we? Let's go for like the kind of OE electric blue if we can get it. There we go. Looks like Twitter now, doesn't it? But either way, we do have some hotels that are out of profit, and in order to get the next set of hotels unlocked, we must be making profit. At least 15,000, I think, for the next 3, and then I think the last 3 it's 40,000. It is indeed. So for these, I guess the 5-star hotels, are they, these ones? Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah, so for the 5-star hotels, we need 40,000 weekly profit. So we've got quite a bit to do to get there, I think. So first of all, what I want to do is spend some time with our profit and loss sheet. So we've got 3 hotels that are making losses, which isn't good. So let's hop over to Caleb Suites. We did name this after Caleb in a live chat during the last live stream. So at the minute, he's not really met any of his criteria. So why don't we see if we can maybe relocate him a little bit closer. So shopping, being near commercial is definitely his preference. And there's a spot right there that does fully satisfy his shopping. I think we can leave it there. So because it is making a loss, I think we're just going to bring the ticket price down a little bit. There we go. Now it pops into a profit. And is now starting to climb up a little bit. So that definitely helps that one. Let's have a look at the other ones that are making a loss here. So small hotel, where are you? You are over by Old Haven, quite far away indeed. So sightseeing and whatnot is fairly matched. So let's pick up the small hotel and see where might be a little bit more appropriate for him. Probably in the heart of Old Haven here, right? So I'm guessing you guys have been historical. Yes, you are. Let's delete you. And then how about if we relocate our hotel into the city centre here? That fully meets his shopping demand anyway. And just put it into a fairly tasty profit. So why don't we see if we can bump that up a little bit. At least it's profitable right now. We'll come back and check on these at some point anyway. And then last but not least, we also have a rental cabin, which is 0% popularity. Now that is probably because it's a pile of rubble. So let's rebuild that. And hopefully this should now start to make a profit. How on earth are you low for sightseeing? This is it's a gorgeous place. You can see there's the temple from here. Beautiful. Stunning even. But this is a super popular hotel, so we can definitely charge a bit more money for this one. Fabulous. And that does put all of our hotels into profit. So now let's filter by popularity. And then we'll come down to rental cabin number 1 over here. Isn't super popular. Again, you're not... You guys really should be meeting your national park criteria here. So I'm pretty sure this is just a case of trees and forest, isn't it? It is indeed. So if that's all they want, why don't we grab a selection of trees and just try and surround these cabins with different bits of foliage to try and up their nature reserve value. We got some different trees as well, so we're not just spamming the live oak. Yeah, that's definitely bumped up a little bit, hasn't it? Maybe let's just keep packing in those trees because that's definitely worked. And then if we can basically make our current fleet of existing hotels as profitable as possible, then I'm hoping that that will help us when we start to build some other complexes, because we'll have to build some new hotels today, of course. I wish we will do. We'll go ahead and find some spaces for them, I think. It'd be quite a nice time. And of course, whilst also helping to revisit some old areas as well. Okay, 71 or 75, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's bump up the price a little bit. I think it's the same deal as well over here, isn't it? This one, it's just not profitable at all. So lots and lots of trees around the edge of it. So it gives it a slight boost for this one. But otherwise, as long as every hotel we have down is in profit, I think I'd be happy with that. There are some not so much as others, but fantastic. So there we're making money now. Let's have a look at our weekly profit. Bumped us up to 8.5 grand, so we need to start placing some more hotels, don't we? So let's head right up into the view of the city and see exactly where we can place these. So we'll start at the bottom. We'll have a budget hotel, which is requiring mostly shopping and business. Now, just because of the way we built Orchid, you can see the business heat map, can't you? Because there's so little office zoning in and around Orchid Bay. It's very hard to find a location that suits both, but I'm thinking maybe down on Freyden Square might be a good shout here for the budget hotel. So why don't we see if we can find a little spot here for it. Now let's go for... Oh, there would be wonderful, but it does destroy a little bit of commercial, but I think I can live with it. And got a bit of overgrowth there as well. Now let's just see if we can terraform away some awkwardness. Yeah, bring it down to 17. We actually bump it up quite a bit there, don't we? Maybe cheaper pricing is actually the way to go for some of the more awkward hotels. But either way, a new Excelsior has opened up on the main strip through Freyden Square here. Let's get another one down. Let's go for the next. We've got tons of rental cabins across the map. I think we'll leave them out. Next up we have a town hostel, which again is requiring mostly sightseeing for this one. So I'm pretty sure sightseeing wants to be near like parks and unique buildings, doesn't it? It does indeed. So a lot of the starting area of around Two Church and the James Redwoods area is super popular for a hostel. So why don't we see if we can get one in? I mean, there's one there. You need a pedestrian area to function. I think there's already one here, isn't there? So I'll push that out there. No, it's not massively popular in its business, but max value sightseeing and shopping should give it quite a tasty bump. Still climbing its profit there as well, isn't it? But we knock it down into pricing. I'm not a massive lover, to be totally honest, of this system. Make hotels profitable, but at least it kind of distracts you from main game for a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, so it's 195 at $9, then 230 at $10, although it is fluctuating a little bit. If I bump it up to like 11, does that make an enormous difference? It comes down a little bit, doesn't it? Well, let's keep it at 10. It seems to be a nice happy middle ground, doesn't it? Again, there's loads of these town hostels we can place. We do have some in and around Karen, maybe on the main street into Karen here. Let's take away some of these trees. I was thinking maybe a larger hotel near the stadium, but the town hostel is great for sightseeing. I think we'll leave that in here. And then maybe over here as well, where there's super dark green for it. Yeah, not a ton of shopping around here, but you know what? There's definitely scope where we can bring that in. I would not be averse to a touch of commercial to settle on the main street here. And possibly here as well, we can... Does this need to be 4-lane? No. You know, I wouldn't mind redeveloping a bit of Karen's area as well over here. This whole waterfront could probably do with a lick of paint, couldn't it? Every time. I made a joke a few episodes ago that we will just keep endlessly renovating Orchid Bay and the series will never finish. It was a joke. However, the more I fly around old Orchid Bay, the more I'm like, you know what? That could do with a renovation. We'll have to be careful. This series will literally never end anyone. It was just going to keep going. Cool, so we'll surround it with a bit of commercial, and that's only going to help increase its profitability and increase its value. So we'll bump up the price per night in anticipation of that commercial coming in as well. Fabulous. So let's move on to the next one now. Then we have a small hotel, which is mostly requiring shopping. Now there should be a fair bit of shopping. You can see all those golden log cabins over in the nature reserve, can't you? So, I wouldn't mind having some hotels out in the smaller towns, right? These places will definitely be getting tourists, especially Denise. People really want to visit Denise, don't they? Well, with that in mind then, am I averse to having a small hotel just within, off the town centre here? Not at all. And as long as it remains profitable, which it does not, because it's well expensive. I mean, that should come down though. Let's just give this a minute to find its feet. I think it is, isn't it? It's just got to find its right pricing per night. Yeah, we're really going to struggle with any hotel that wants business because we have no office zone in Orchid Bay, like, at all. Okay, so if we bump this up by $1, is this going to, like, massively affect our bottom line? It is a pretty popular hotel, so I think it can sustain the higher price. Yeah, okay. We'll leave it at that. 960 is pretty decent for me. So let's have another small hotel in then, and DFA Synergies is like a community project. I don't think I really want a hotel there. No one wants to see the space launch, which is understandable. How about over in Chamonix, of course? We really should have put a hotel here last time, shouldn't we? This is like the perfect place for one. Although it's not massively valuable for it. What do you want here? Shopping is your main attraction, isn't it? We'll just delete this building here and have it there. That's a great addition into the town, isn't it? Especially near the train station there. Quite happy with that. So hopefully you will be profitable here. Yeah, you're only missing your business factor, so and I reckon because it's a popular hotel, it can withstand the increased ticket price. And how is that giving us a weekly profit now? Up to 10,500 so far, that's really good. I'm happy with that. The next up is the Old Inn, which mostly wants sightseeing as its place to be. There's a nice little spot there actually in we do actually already have one in Nephew, so let's not put another one down there then. The golf club is actually surprisingly popular. I wouldn't mind actually having one of these in and around the golf club. You know what? How about we replace the golf house or the golf club with the Old Inn? It should make it incredibly popular. Let's try and treat it as like it's an old bit of the clubhouse of the course. Also saves us a seaside resort unit building we can repurpose elsewhere. So its shopping value isn't being remotely met, but it is still making profit. And climbing as well actually at that. Not too much actually, it's not a hugely popular hotel. But that's okay. Yeah, let's place some more down. Funny, isn't it, that the the prison is super attractive because those car parks count as parks, which is just hilarious. What a place to go on holiday, right? You know what, down May Street 2 Church might be quite nice actually. Why don't we rip out this commercial here? And is that a sits and fits? It is indeed. I think I'd be quite happy with a motel down the main street of 2 Church. Pretty high value, if not maybe the need for some more trees, which hopefully just by spamming the old guide forest bush behind the building, maybe further down here as well, we can increase that nature value. Yeah, but ever so slightly. Oh, actually nearly to max value. That's not too bad at all. But either way, very profitable, so we can probably bump its price up, I reckon. Yeah, but it was more profitable at the lower price. So we'll leave that one there. Now, how about... Yeah, this area over here is not particularly attractive. And shopping is your main value. I'd rather keep these motels in sort of the outer lying area of town rather than central downtown finding an old rundown motel like this. Now, how about just off the highway near Lotus? It's a pretty good place for a motel, doesn't it? Just off the highway there. And it's only 65% popularity, so we'll leave it to make us some profit anyway. Shouldn't be too long now, hopefully, before we're at those next hotels. Yeah, just a couple more. So let's have a look at the City Hotel now. This will hopefully make us a bit more money. Shopping is its biggest criteria. Now, this one is a little bit taller, so I'd rather have this more toward the sort of the centre over here. Having one actually in and around the transport hub would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Although there is also scope for it over here too. And this one here does look like it'd do well around the mall. Now, I wouldn't mind having a hotel here, but we need a road for it. So let's trim off some of this dirt road stuff again, which is all going to help us reclaim those nodes in the long run, isn't it? But further episodes of Orchid Bay. And then let's just grab a little median road. Let's do something with trees on it. You know, we could actually connect that in. And then we can have the hotel here. Now this one I think does have different skins, doesn't it? Yeah, so we can make it a little taller. Or we can bring it down. I think we'll keep it down, keep it the same height as the residential buildings nearby here. I don't hate that at all, to be honest. I think it blends in quite nice with the local apartments, doesn't it? And given its criteria of shopping, being next to a mall, makes it lose all the money in the world. Of course it does. Yeah, it does have a big business requirement, but hopefully the max shopping and sightseeing should take that into a profit. Yeah, just needs to take over. 720 a week is actually a pretty good profit. 1,000 a week there now as well. And if we drop that by a couple of dollars, yeah, we do go a bit more profitable just because we're getting simply more guests in, aren't we? Maybe then $27. Yeah, making it cheap is definitely the way to go, I think, isn't it? Although I think maybe 24 might have been the happy median there. Fabulous. Let's go ahead and find one more spot for one of these city hotels. We don't have much around Wingfour Hills at all, do we? I wouldn't mind coming in with a small hotel in this area. How about, what can we delete here? Can we get rid of you? Yeah, there's a tiny commercial building there. But again, max value is everything beside the business. Very popular hotel. That should sell itself, I think. I even bring the pricing down a little bit just to encourage more guests in. And that is fabulous. That allows us to hit. Wonderful, there we go, 15,000. We just hit it just then. Don't have the conference hotel. 6,000 a week. What? That's crazy. That's well expensive. Now this one, unfortunately, the conference hotel is after business, and Orchid Bay simply cannot provide it because there is no business in the city. There is a little bit around here where we've got the IT cluster. Now again, I do want to develop a little bit of this downtown into hotel space. Now I can't delete the office there because of course that's why we actually want to put it over here. I think we've got no industry to zone either, so we can't place any more office in the city. I think, yeah, the only space it would be slightly happy is in and around the stock exchange, but there's too much infrastructure around here to place anything that's big now. Now I do want to use the courthouse here eventually, but I would just like to test what the hotel looks like in this space. Delete those two neat buildings as well. We will bring them back when we do that episode. But this actually might be quite a nice addition into the space. Look, it does have bloody redwood trees on it, which is a nightmare. But if we bring its pricing down, let's say $30 a night for a night away in central Orchid Bay. Pretty good price, isn't it? That should hopefully bring a lot more guests in to reduce that loss. It's pretty well satiated with its what it wants, and it is still continuing to fall. And with that, it does actually become profitable, which is quite nice. So we'll still climbing as well. Would you look at that? $30 a night. This one's actually making some really decent money for us. Cool. So we did manage to get a conference hotel, and of course, this area is to be redeveloped. So, but we do already have one of our hotels in there, which does actually blend very nicely into the skyline. Does it? It's just a shame about the redwoods. Those redwoods are really, really stand out, but we can make do with it. So here, right, there's just the words of a hotel in that signage makes a big difference to the sort of immersion, doesn't it? Seeing signage on a main road in a downtown is big. Hotel, movie box down there as well. Special. Where do those trams stop? Maybe outside the hotel actually would be a good point for them to stop. Where do you go from here? You are stopping. You don't stop on this road, do you not? That's a bus, isn't it? No, I don't think it does. Okay then, well let's make that tram stop outside the hotel then. Yeah, right here by the little eatery area might be quite cool. As long as it's still profitable, which it very much is. Wonderful. Cool, so what's the next one now? 40,000. We'll have to get some very profitable hotels in to get these a lot. I'd love to use the design hotel during the hotel phase, but we might struggle to get that one, I think. I actually think that the spa resort might just be too big to get in anywhere. I think we're just going to struggle to get a building of this size in the criteria where it also wants to be placed as well. This is, for me, where the flaw in this DLC lies a little bit, is the fact you have to place them in very specific locations, and the building doesn't always really match that criteria for me. So we'll come back to the spa hotel. Let's have a look instead of the ocean resort, which of course can only really go up and against a waterfront, for which I wouldn't mind having a little look over here. Now, all this is going to be pretty dense, isn't it? I don't think it's going to be able to fit in here. How about over by the pier? If we replace this here, how does it look? This is like a super tropical looking asset. Can we even meet its criteria sat here? Yeah, sightseeing and nature are both okay. Zero shopping though, which is a bit of a shame. See, for an asset like this, how are you supposed to meet all that? It's just seems a little silly to me. I don't know. I'll stop criticizing the hotel's DLC. Anyway, it does need a road connection, of course. So let's go ahead and give that. We can also remove a few of these path nodes. A few of the trees as well. Cool. So that should do it. Now, it's not... It's very kind of like Maldives, isn't it? Very kind of like Bora Bora sort of vibes, this kind of hotel. It's not something you'd see on an ocean front of a major metropolitan area, I don't think. But City Skylines, isn't it? So we have to kind of work around it. But they are, however, incredibly profitable hotels. Especially when we bring the price down like that. How about we go even a little bit cheaper? Yeah, and we can bring these up to $3 grand a week pretty much in profit, which is pretty decent. That's going to make a big dent in our progress toward 40 grand a week. Can we get any more of these in? Again, they don't interact incredibly well with keys, which is a little bit annoying. But to be honest, no one over here is even using the key anyway. So let's save some nodes. Let's break all of that off. We'll soften it out, and then let's have another one of these hotels up this way. And then we will do a 200 curve back in. We can indeed, and then we can detail this up here. But it does allow us to get another one in and around the national park, which I guess is slightly nicer surroundings, and it's also near the Olympic Village as well, so maybe the athletes can stay here, or maybe the more luxurious kind of athletics fans can sit in here as well. There's big waves in the pool too, isn't there? Yeah, I think maybe we can get away with that one there. Not, we need to re-slope this terrain a little bit because it's very harsh there. We'll get some rocks and whatnot to satiate it. But this one's even more popular. How about we boost up your price per night? Can we start to make a little bit more money from you? Drop it down and see how that behaves. Okay, $121 a night. We can get this hotel making near enough 4,000, which is really good. I'm much happier with that, I think. So let's take a look at our current most profitable hotels. The two ocean resorts are, as you would imagine, and then it's the conference after that. And then we've got the city hotel over here by the mall. So I reckon placing a few more city hotels is probably going to help get us over that threshold a little bit. I don't think we can get away with any more ocean resorts. I think that's pretty much our limit. Maybe we'll possibly do one more by Haven and by Stockton, but there's cruise liners coming through here. I don't really want an ocean resort or hotel there. Of course, it's limited by waterfront, isn't it? So... okay, then just because they're super profitable, I wouldn't mind maybe having another one over by the shoreline here. How's that? And can we just pop into that node there? Or this one here? Tide a bit of the room that's not needed anymore. Then can we have this as part of the waterfront for Haven? They're such a stark contrast, I'll say. I think unless you're building a very luxurious kind of Bora Bora set of islands, you're not going to use this asset anywhere else, are you? But I think I can include it there. It's quite a nice waterfront, this one. And again, it should be pretty profitable, so... our most profitable ocean resort cabin was what? $115 a night? So let's head to that new one then. We'll make this one the same price. Bring it down to 116. That should entice plenty more people in to fill up the space. Cool, so that leaves us on 25 grand. I think what I will do now is just go through the least profitable hotels. And how much are we charging these rental cabins here? This one's got max criteria, so can I just charge you out max and make more money? Brings up to 192. It's not an enormous increase, but I suppose every little helps here, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to do that then. I'm going to go through the hotels and just make sure we've optimized every price, and then we'll see just how many more we need to place. I wonder if we could place one actually up at the viewing point at the head of the Chamonix Valley. I wonder if it would be happy here. It is in nature and does have sightseeing locations nearby. Although it's not very happy about its commercial offering, which is fair enough. Can we make it work though? I also realise as well, in order to level these up, we need to match the average popularity as well. Which I think we can just cheese this by placing hotels exactly where they want to be, then deleting them. It's really the weekly profit we need to worry about. Which isn't now far off 30 grand. We are slowly getting there, aren't we? Now, having said that, I hope you guys are enjoying a more gameplay-focused episode rather than building. It's always fun flying around old parts of Orchid Bay. But also, we don't have a hotel near Deville either, do we? So let's grab... probably City Hotel is going to be best suited here, isn't it? Or maybe Small Hotel, actually. Maybe we could do both. I place you here. Will you be happy? You're not massive on your nature front, again, but I think a little bit of trees around the back end of it to shelter it around. Don't mind some trees there. Yep, instantly brings it up, increasing its popularity. And then let's just bring that price per night down a little bit. Then again, with this one being so popular, I bet we could actually increase it and not lose out on too much money. Yeah, we're getting a better profit there, aren't we? $30, even over 1,000 there too. Can we get a bit more cheeky? Can we do $32 a night? Sort of. It's fluctuating a little bit. Let's keep it at 31 then. We'll do $31 a night for that one, I think. Cool. Less than 10,000 to go now. Now, I wouldn't mind removing a little bit of car parking here and bringing in a little hotel here. We do want a little bit of office as well, which I think I will just zone up. You know, maybe we will get a tiny little spike in office demand here. With a 71% rating, we should probably bring that down. Really, you have 0 of 10 nature? Okay, let's see if we can densify these trees a little bit then. I would like them to have their nature value met. See if we can surround it with trees. Only 2, it's not amazing. It is near a fairly built-up area though. So let's do $28 a night there. So just glancing back at our most profitable, those ocean resorts are absolutely crazy, aren't they? The 3 of the 4 most popular are all ocean resort. Or most profitable at least anyway. The most popular ones by far and away the rental cabins in the countryside. Cool, so let's do another mountain lodge, shall we? These always work quite nicely, don't they? Interestingly enough, by the highway rest stop is quite a popular spot. Now, how about we remove some car parking? Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a little hotel. Maybe we can even do 2 of them here. Small hotel by the highway rest stop. Pretty cool. Both are fairly popular and profitable, one more so than the other. So I'm actually going to delete the larger one. And then why don't we try a little repeated hotel pattern? Is this something we can get away with? And then if we put those car parking spaces back, we removed, because I do believe they were actually classing the car parking as an attraction, which is, I realise is a little weird, but we'll go with it. Then how about just some trees to help bring its nature value up again? We get away with that. They are profitable. Got their price down a little bit. And 85% approval is always quite nice as well. Yeah, I think bringing the price up actually is the way to go here, isn't it? Okay, we'll do $13 a night for each. They're both quite happy. So that's 2 more in over there anyway. I think we'll also get another small hotel here in Deville Town Centre. It's pretty easily satisfied here. That should make it quite profitable. And that money was $30 a night too. I'm also just testing the boat hotel down by the waterfront here. It's not massively popular. It really just wants shopping. And I reckon we can satiate that by actually removing the multi-story and allowing a little bit of high density commercial to grow in here. I think everyone's always going to be on board with a little bit less parking, aren't they? And that should, once it's grown in, give it what it wants to make it significantly more popular. Means hopefully then we can get away with charging slightly higher prices. It's a nice asset, this one. We used it in Thessia, although not a lot of people enjoyed its placement. I thought it was pretty cool, to be honest, but it's a nice asset. It's a shame we can't place this boat as a prop. That would have been pretty cool. Or a sub-building as well. So I think we'll go with this one. I think we'll keep it in. That high density commercial does satisfy a little bit. It's actually quite a nice asset selection there too, so why don't we historicalize that? And also draw in a little bit more here as well. Let's see, downgrade that road there to no zoning and we can get a little bit more in there as well. Yeah, okay, that's up to 77% now. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll leave that one in then. Very nice place to come and stay as well, isn't it? Also gives us a bit of a marina aesthetic at the front of the downtown, which is actually very much needed, isn't it? Quite nice that. I was thinking actually maybe we've got a lot of towers and density around here, haven't we? I reckon we could probably shift some of the buildings here for a city hotel, which would be happy here at some place, although there are. What's going on around here? You're holding the service point. Can we flip you around? And indeed. Which means I can remove this road here. And also this pathway in the wonderful quest of saving nodes. Possibly get one in here as well. Let's get a shot of all these guys. Let's have brand new city hotel, who's hopefully going to be satisfied with everything apart from his office agreement. This means, is there anything we can rezone here as office? Let's do some... Yeah, I'm not massively precious about the chirp cinema staying. But we'll re-office all this up. Office will grow just very slowly. It just takes a long time to come in. Cool. So, not slightly popular. I guess we just remove a lot of your commercial, didn't we? I'm actually not sure if the game really differentiates between high and low density commercial for these buildings. Why don't we try introduce a little bit of high density, see if that satisfies it a little bit more. So let's get some shops going here. Maybe we can make one spot next to it high density too. So it is growing in. Some of the office has grown in as well, but 2 blocks of it has given it a very, very small value. Let's bring that price up tonight. Let's see if we can get this over 1,000 per week. Seems to sustain it at 76% popularity. That office zone is still climbing as well. Can we get in maybe one more little block there? Maybe a little 2x2 might grow. But otherwise I think we're pretty slim pickings. That's also grown as commercial. Which is fine. I can have a little icebox there. That's okay, no problem. So maybe just to keep him a little happier, might also remove some of the part life assets here and just say let's try and grow in some office zoning, see what happens. But I'm not averse to having another little tower in the sort of, I don't even know what district this is anymore. It's a Green Cities University area now, isn't it, these days? Always enjoyed this sightline though. Really like this part of the city here, especially with the view into downtown from here too. And this arterial road as well, still smooth and flowing, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. Very nice traffic flow through this part of the city. So we're getting super close now to that weekly profit, less than 4,000 to go. We have just absolutely rocketed up in profit though, up to 39,000 now. I don't know where that came from actually. Sightseeing and nature seems pretty good around the golf course. So maybe we can bring in another mountain lodge over here, which we will do by removing fence, which again will save us some nodes. Are you going to be happy there? Shopping isn't amazing, but nature and sightseeing is very much satiated. Don't mind having that there. You can treat that almost like it's a resort for the golf course, can't you? People could stay overnight and play a few rounds rather than just visiting for the day. But it is profitable, and we can bump up the money. And hopefully, in a couple of days' time, that will give us the weekly profit we need. Then it's all just down to satiating the average popularity, which I think we'll try and cheese by just zoning in buildings near the hotels that need them, then actually remove them. That's probably a little too expensive though, isn't it? How are you meeting business demand here? What? I'm actually really curious about that. What is satiating the business demand there? I mean, what is that? Is that the park life area? The business hotels do best when built near office zone buildings. Public transportation connections are a plus. Right, okay, that's because the hotel, and there's a bus through here as well now, isn't there? Right, okay, so that's what's doing it. That's what helps it meet its very small business demand there, which is quite interesting, isn't it? The $55 is a pretty happy median. We'll have that near the golf course. Oh, wonderful. There we go. So that last hotel actually did break the weekly profit threshold. Now it's just a case of increasing average popularity, which is also a requirement to hit level 5. So I think the best way to do this is to filter by least popular, and then let's just try and make them a little bit happier. So we've got some rental cabins over here, which... Why are you guys so upset? You're surrounded by nature and trees here. So the people in the rental cabins in the nature reserve are super pissed off because they've got high crime. So do we need a police station out in the swamp? We probably do, for which... The Railroad of Japan police box is very easy to hide. Where do we want you? Can we just like throw you like there? Is that okay? And try and make it look like it's associated with the car park here or something. Hopefully he will send out some people here. Yeah, it currently has 0% popularity because the crime rate is high. Although the police box isn't sending anything out. You boys okay? We need to try the Seaside Resorts one. Okay, for some reason the police box from Railroad of Japan isn't pumping police cars out. I don't know if that's a bug. One for that then sustains that again. Now you just met with your nature profitability, which again we will try and cheese with lots of trees. It just wants to be surrounded by pure forest. So we're going to have to pretend they walk through the tree line here to get to the cabins. Also bring this through here as well. Lots of trees around it. The higher we can bring that percentage up, there you go, to 98%. Now has that affected our average at all? No, but every little help will help, I guess. So the roadside motel is now the worst rated, which is requiring a little bit more shopping and business. And where are we here? We're into Nephew, aren't we? Are we? Yeah. That's a little bit confused then. Okay, well, I don't mind that then. Let's go ahead and add in a little bit of shopping here. Now, I'm not massive. This is the main street of the Nephew, isn't it? It is, yeah. So I'm not hugely precious about actually removing a few houses here and having some more shops. It is the main road through town. So let's delete those. You also want... Yeah, again, the office demand is pretty much 0, so we'll go with commercial. We'll just try and bring that up as high as we can. And I reckon... What's your sightseeing value? If we move this tennis court, do you become very unhappy indeed? No, you still keep your sightseeing value, which is important. Then maybe let's get an office building there, and then we'll surround that with some commercial. It will eventually grow. Which again will hopefully bring its positioning up from 66. And of course, while we are increasing these average popularities as well, we can also increase the price. Cool. So the office building's growing in now. Actually quite interested just to know how much of a difference one office building makes. Well, that jumped up to 14 just from one office building. That's pretty crazy, that, isn't it? 89% popularity now. Okay. Well, actually, let's do more office then. Let's get rid of this, and then we'll wait for more office to grow. So the other office building growing in gives it another 5. That takes it up to 95%. That's pretty great. Now, how much of a price increase can you sustain off of that? Can you bring you up? Go for like, maybe let's go like max price $30. Will you sustain that, or will we start losing profit then? In and around 800 a week, it would seem. Maybe down a touch. Seems to be okay. Cool. So let's keep filtering for our least popular hotels. The old inn we actually placed over here isn't massively popular, and that's mainly, I'm guessing, due to its commercial rating, which I wouldn't mind having some commercial around it. It has to be like bars though. I can't really have like a shopping centre here. That would be really weird. Things like catfish cafes I could probably get on board with, so let's go for like catfish cafes 3x4, I think, is it? My asset knowledge is failing me here. And then it also wants a little bit more nature as well, doesn't it? So let's bring lots of that Orchid Bay tree brush around it. In places where we can afford it. To have a few more trees on the golf course. And that bumps up your value there as well. Hopefully we can get the right asset in here. It might take a little bit of time and patience. And possibly over here as well. I guess I might afford a bit more commercial. Again, just gotta wait for the right assets to come in, I think. So the ice cream parlour is actually quite nice here. I don't mind that near the golf course. You can grab a cone before you go out. There is the 2x3 catfish cafe, which we will historicalize as it comes in. Which gives us a little bit more towards its rating. It does increase its popularity quite a bit. Which is really what we wanted to do. Cool, so I think I'll keep going through and doing this and just trying to say shit and bring as much popularity as possible. We have dropped just below the threshold again, but that will pop back up, I think, with demands. And then, anyway, we'll be right back once we hit this average popularity. I'm just going to keep filtering through and going through all these to get them there. And then we'll be right back. So we are slowly making a dent here. It's a tedious process, but what we're doing is just filtering by popularity. So, for example, this one over here in Two Church isn't massively popular. It's really bringing that average down. So we can see it needs commercial and, office and nature. So I'm just trying to zone up office around it wherever it will go. I probably won't keep this office here. And then really also trying to maybe remove it from that little section there and get a little office block on the corner. And then also using the tree brush to pack in as many trees as we can. In and around it again, trees that probably won't stay, but it is satiating the nature requirement, which is really helping to bump up our average, which is now up to 83%. So, a slow process, but we're getting there. Understandably, a rental cabin is burning down and has dropped to 0% popularity. So, this is bringing our score down a little bit. We are gradually getting there. Things are slowly coming together here. 88% now. And of course, by bringing up our average popularity, it's also increased our weekly profit because we're getting more guests due to the nature of the popularity rising. But very nearly there, but one of them is burning down, which understandably has 0 popularity. And oh my word. Come on. Level up, please. What is wrong with you? We have hit level 90 now for the approval, although it's not. Oh my god, finally. That took so long. That is easily one of the worst mechanics to say Skylines has ever introduced. That took forever to get that average popularity up. Incredibly frustrating. We also have some missing pedestrian area here as well, but there we go, guys. Finally, we do get there. I had no idea that would take that long. I have been doing this for hours, refining everyone's popularity. All hotels are unlocked. Thank God. that was so long. I'm really glad we managed to do it though. We've got some really nice new buildings now. The Heritage Hotel It is a big old castle, isn't it? Do we want to have a look at this up on the hillside before we wrap the episode up here today? We might as well, right? We've just spent like last 4 hours unlocking these bloody buildings. I'm probably going to call today's episode, "Is this the worst mechanic Cities Skylines has ever introduced?" But watch this hotel now want to be near a massive shopping centre or something. Of course it does. Of course it does. But the aesthetic, maybe then rather than having the monument atop one of Orchid Bay's mountains, we can use the castle hotel, which we have actually yet to use, but it does look quite fancy on a hill, doesn't it? So I think we'll probably run with that idea once we eventually come to build it. And now for our major hotel redevelopment episodes, we do have the deluxe hotel, and more importantly, the design hotel, which I think may take center stage around here, around when we redevelop the fish farm into a big corporate, nice, modern complex. Because I think with the redevelopment episodes, I know you guys are really enjoying them. Maybe all this low density here gets redeveloped eventually, and then we can respect a much more natural crawling height. Maybe make this a bit more of a medium density island, if you like, and then we can have that grander crawl up to the skyline. So expect it to come at some point eventually anyway. But goodness gracious me, was that a pain? But either way, I hope you have enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much indeed for watching. If you are missing the Hotels DLC and want to get it, links down to Instant Gaming down below, which do help support the channel. You can get it for super cheap now. Totally advise ignoring the hotel mechanic and just playing with the assets as you see fit. I think it's really ridiculous the way they went about creating that pack. I know it was a mini DLC, and I think given the insight we have now to the ways Cities Skylines 2 had, I think the Hotels and Retreat was put out as a kind of filler to say, like, don't worry, Cities 2 is coming, but here's another DLC in the meantime. They're really nice assets, but the mechanics sucks absolute balls. Massive shout out to all the patrons supporting the channel. Again, as I mentioned earlier, links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming down below. And next episode, we will get on with those redevelopments of, I think we'll start with fish farms and redevelop that whole grotty, dirty industry area into a nice, modern corporate hotel plaza with fountains and detailing and lots of other spices against the river. Should be a lot of fun. But otherwise, please do enjoy some cinematics of today's additions into Orchid Bay, mainly the hotels. But let's thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.